I'm going to call to order the City Council meeting for the 21st of March, 2023. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam City Clerk, could you call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Quorum is present for the City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority, Finance Authority, Parking Authority, and Joint Powers Authority.
All right, any persons wishing to address City Council, City Successor Agency, Housing Authority, Finance Authority, Parking Authority, JPA on any item on the agenda other than public hearings may do so at this time for 3 minutes. Are there any speakers? Hearing no speakers, we'll check the library lecture hall.
Back. I'm sorry. I forgot the rules of decorum. Let's go with the rules of decorum. Marvin McCoy. I had to get out that. More comfortable in here. So let me go through a couple things. Just a general overall, and it was so disturbing, and I want to make sure I don't go to public hearings, about the way this housing element plan was achieved. And what I've noticed, it seems to be that these surveys are rigged. Meaning, they have an answer, but it's not a true sample size.
Hold on, Marvin, I just want to make sure that you're not talking about the public hearing right now.
No, we're not talking about, I'm talking about in general, sir, because I have to walk this fine
Well,
line.
here, I know,
Sir,
here's,
it's not fair.
wait a
Sir,
minute, hold on one second,
sir,
hold on
every
one
week You're
second.
doing this.
What I need you to do is identify the item you're speaking on, and then we'll go from there.
Sir, can we do this, because I don't want to waste this time every week? You're finding a creative way every week to.
No, I just said you just need to.
It's obvious
Okay,
to
I'm gonna
everybody.
mute him
So
for
I'm
a
gonna make
second,
sure we have
please.
this on-
Mute him for a second. Marvin, what I need you to do is identify the item that you're speaking on and make sure it's not one of the public hearing items. Okay, so let's go
Okay,
back.
so when are you gonna stop?
Go right ahead.
Okay, you're stopping my time?
Yes, I did.
Okay, great, sir. So let's with that.
The item.
Sir, stop. Sir, we've done this before. It's been proven I'm smarter than you. I don't get intimidated by you. Me and Melanie McDay, we figured you out.
Okay, now you're off topic
started it.
again, Marvin.
You
We're
started
gonna
off
mute you
rules.
again.
You started
Mute
it.
him. Mute him. Now, see, Marvin, here's the thing. Here's what the rules are. You talk about something that's on the agenda. If you don't talk about something on the agenda one more time, then we're going to discontinue your time. Okay? All right. Let's try it again.
Let's try it again once you figure it out. Like the hair dye. I tried, but you keep playing with me. I found the Lord, and you keep playing with me. So with that being said, let's go to the warrant registers. That's easy. So you have a bunch of bills on here for attorney fees. Yet I continue to email the city clerk's office, and we can't get any separate fees on what we're paying for your lawsuit that continues to go. But Melanie McDade continues to drop albums on social media. And how much have we paid in your defense so far? Has it exceeded $500,000 yet? When does it get to the point where it's of no longer of any service to continue to defend you? At what point in time
Okay,
did you say,
Marvin,
sir, we're talking about the bills.
this isn't on
We're
the
talking about
agenda,
bills,
so
sir. We're
we're
talking about
going
the
to
bills.
we're going to terminate you right now.
Sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Okay, are there any other speakers? Okay, if there are no more speakers, we'll go on to the agenda. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move allow payment.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, successor agency members, and housing authority members, Dotson.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Madam Clerk, what's the next scheduled matter?
Yes, Mayor, the next scheduled matter is a public hearing to consider adoption of a resolution approving the 2021 through 2029 housing element General Plan Amendment 2023-001.
Has the notice of the hearing been given in the time, form, and manner as required by law? And do you have the affidavit on file?
Yes, Mayor, notice has been given and an affidavit is on file.
Have we received any communications?
Yes, Mayor, communications have been received and passed out to mayor and council members.
Mr. City Manager, is there a staff report?
Yes, Ms. Mindy Wilcox, Planning Manager, will give the staff report.
Welcome, Ms. Wilcox.
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon, Mayor and council members. Today, we present to you, for your consideration, the draft 21 to 29 housing element for the state's 6th housing element cycle. This document is a result of a multi-year effort that represents a tremendous amount of work put in by staff. And in particular, I would like to acknowledge Senior Planner Bernard McCrumbie, who has worked tirelessly in coordination with our consultant, as well as the State Department of Housing and Community Development. And I'd like to commend Bernard on a job well done getting the housing element to this point. Likewise, our consultants at the Royal Group have been terrific partners in facilitating inclusive outreach and writing a housing element that not only complies with state requirements, but is tailored to the housing wants and needs of the Inglewood community. And finally, as noted in the acknowledgements page of the housing element, we received extensive input from our housing division, housing protection department, residential sound insulation, and code enforcement division, and we appreciate their collaboration throughout this process. And lastly, the draft housing element was recommended for approval by the Planning Commission on January 23rd. To start us off, we have a brief video that was used as part of the community outreach that provides general background on housing elements.
Welcome to the City of Inglewood's first Housing Element Workshop. You'll leave this workshop with an understanding of what a housing element is, what this year's Housing Element Update means for the City of Inglewood, and why you should participate in the Housing Element Update process.
Excuse me, I have a few questions. I've heard about this. Can you please describe what is exactly a housing element?
A housing element is part of the city's general plan, which is like the city's constitution. A housing element is the highest level of expression of a city's housing vision, including goals, policies, and programs for improving housing.
So essentially, the housing element is a plan for future of housing in the city, but housing isn't really a new issue. Why haven't we been talking about this housing element sooner?
Housing elements are required by the state of California to be updated every 8 years. The prior housing element expires this year, and now cities statewide are updating their housing element for the 2021 to 2029 cycle.
So it's been 8 years, okay. Now, what's required by the state?
The state requires cities to plan for a certain number of new housing units to be built over the next 8 years. These new housing units are called the RHNA.
Wait, what's RHNA?
RHNA is the Regional Housing Needs Assessment. These units are built across 4 income levels. Additionally, the city is required to locate sites for new housing and adjust zoning where appropriate.
Now, zoning is the rules put forth by the city, the building rules, right?
Right. Zoning describes what can be built in different parts of the city. For example, there are residential, industrial, and commercial zones.
But we're talking about residential housing, right? And so exactly what kind of housing are we talking about?
Housing for all income levels, ranging from folks who are chronically unemployed to folks who earn above the area's median household income. Housing types include ADUs.
Now these are the granny flats.
Yes, also condos, multifamily, and affordable.
Now when you say affordable, what do you mean by that? And where would it be?
This depends on the site analysis, which will determine where future housing will be planned for. And yes, large portions of the RHNA units are affordable.
Now many of us already own a home, but we're concerned about our children and our neighbors being able to stay here, even though they're renters, as part of our community. What about them?
Protecting renters is very important to the City of Inglewood, and this housing element will talk about how we will continue to do that. The housing element will identify ways to encourage the development of more affordable housing in the city.
So this is going to be a guide for everything that happens housing-wise throughout the city.
Yes, this housing element will decide the future of housing in Inglewood over the next 8 years. The city wants all of you to give us your comments and feedback.
So any resident can weigh in on this?
Absolutely. Go to the Inglewood Housing Elements webpage to share your thoughts and comments, and be sure to attend future Housing Element workshops.
Okay. Wow, thanks.
You're welcome.
Bernard,
Oh, my goodness.
Very good.
coming a long way.
Mandy.
So, as described, the housing element represents the city's long-term commitment to the development and improvement of housing in the city of Inglewood. And just earlier this month, the Department of Housing and Community Development advised us that the draft can proceed with city approvals. As mentioned, throughout the development of the housing element, we conducted extensive community outreach, including 2 community meetings in December 2021. We conducted stakeholder interviews with 15 housing and community stakeholder members to get their feedback on housing-related issues. We prepared 3 educational videos. The first you saw, the other 2 were called Zoning, Your Questions Answered, and How Does Affordable Housing Become a Reality? We also conducted targeted additional outreach with housing service providers to ensure we were getting their feedback on the housing element. And throughout the process, we publicized the educational videos, the community meetings, and other outreach on the city's website and social media. So the Regional Housing Needs Allocation, also known as the RHNA, is a key component of the housing element requirements, and as you saw was described in the previous video. Across the state, substantially higher RHNAs have been required of all jurisdictions for the 6th housing element cycle. As you can see here, our 5th cycle RHNA was just over 1,000, and our current one is just under 7,500. Many cities are struggling to amend their zoning regulations to allow for the increase in housing capacity that the state is requiring through the RHNA. In Inglewood, however, due to the City Council's previous foresight in adopting the transit-oriented development plans, current zoning regulations meet and even exceed the RHNA allocation. As a result, no rezoning is anticipated to meet the RHNA requirement. The housing element lays out 4 goals based on community outreach and current housing conditions in the city. The first goal relates to facilitating housing affordable to all income levels, from low income all the way to market rate and above area median income. The second goal relates to facilitating the upkeep and modernization of existing housing in neighborhoods. The third goal, which was an issue we heard a lot about from the community outreach, was facilitating new opportunities for home ownership for Inglewood renters. And the fourth goal relates to facilitating supportive services for households with special needs, such as seniors, families, the homeless, or individuals with disabilities. The housing element lays out 36 programs to achieve the goals identified. About 18 of those programs are existing or ongoing from the previous housing element, and 18 are new that were not previously included. This slide just shows a snapshot of some of those programs. And the housing element lays out a schedule to implement the programs by 2029. The city will be submitting an annual report to HCD on new dwelling units entitled or constructed, as well as the implementation status of the housing element programs. The housing element has been determined to conform with all other elements of the general plan, and a notice of exemption has been prepared under CEQA. And that concludes staff's presentation. I'm available for any questions you may have.
All right, we're going to take a public comment for 1 minute. Are there any members here in the audience? Seeing none. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Afternoon, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Salvador George, and I'm a member of the Southwest Mountain States Regional Council of Carpenters. I live in the local area, and I work, I recreate in the vicinity of the project. I believe that I will be impacted by the environmental impacts of the project. The city should incorporate language into the proposed 2021 and 2029 housing element general plan, Amendment 2023-001, requiring that residential developments be built with contractors that were hired locally, pay prevailing wage, and utilize apprentices from the State Certified Apprenticeship Training Program. Workforce requirements reduce construction-related environmental impacts while benefiting the local economy and workforce development. In the recent 2020 report titled Putting California on the High Road, a Jobs and Climate Action Plan for 2030, the California Workforce Development Board
10
concluded
seconds, sir. 10 seconds left.
Investments in growing, diversifying, and upskilling California workforce can positively affect returns on climate mitigation efforts.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Are there any speakers in the library lecture hall?
Come on, speak. Are you serious? You guys said this was a process. You guys send out this survey in December. You guys go dark in December. So there's no way you intended to get real, true community response. To send it out to 15 stakeholders who are on the payroll of Stan Kroenke and Steve Ballmer, yo daddy, and saying that's a true sample of a city of 100,000 people, it's deceptive, although impressive, almost impressive, like that little role play tape you guys were high-fiving each other about, but did nothing. You guys are a bunch of clowns. You sat there, that romper room, that Sesame
You're being
Street
insulting,
shit,
Mr.
and you presented it
Mute
like
him.
you guys did a good
Mute him.
job.
Mute
15
him. Mute him. One more time, Marvin, and then you won't be able to speak on the next public hearing item either. So we're going to open you back up. Your next insult.
He's gone.
I know. Oh, he's gone. Okay, we'll close public comment.
I have a comment, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, thank you, Bernard. You've come a long way, buddy. That's a nice report. I would like to start by asking you to describe the outreach that was done because I know that it was heavy.
Absolutely. As I mentioned, we conducted 2 community meetings. We aimed to hold them at differing times of the day so that individuals could attend during the day, daytime hours, or in the evening, depending on what worked for them best. And in terms of the stakeholders that we interviewed, they were individuals that represented larger groups within the community, such as religious entities, other community service providers, and those individuals were used to broaden the outreach we did for the community meetings to reach larger audiences.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean that's significant outreach. Unfortunately, meetings like this tend to not get the attention that they usually deserve, but the effort is made. Again, also in terms of your report, it was extremely easy to understand and the reasons why everybody would be there. And I'd like to think we're a city that actually is at the forefront for cities our size to really push affordable housing. Everybody else seems to shy away with a city our size, but we seem to encourage. Just in my district, I mean, I have projects that have come up in the last 15 years that are 100% affordable. So, those are things that they matter to us. We make every effort, and whether or not you have these meetings, that's kind of our philosophy. But I do know that there are cities who tend to shy away from it, and it's easy to say we're not part of what the solution is, but we are. If every city did what we did, we'd be in better shape in the state of California. That's the truth. That's the truth. Also, every project where it's reasonable for us to have local contractors, that was mentioned, we do so. We do so. Language, no language, we do so. So those are things that I wanted to point out because sometimes you only get 15 people at a meeting. but I can tell you just by looking at the report, you guys spent hours on it. And you were prepared to deliver whatever it was to whatever group of people. So I commend you for that. This is what our result is, right in line with what our philosophy is. So those are my comments, Mayor.
Thank you. Move item 2 and 3.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye. Madam Clerk, what's the next scheduled matter?
Yes, Mayor. The next scheduled matter is a public hearing to receive public comments regarding a substantial amendment to the fiscal year 2021 through 2022 Annual Action Plan for the allocation of Home Investment Partnership Program American Rescue Plan funds from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Has the notice of the hearing been given in a time, form, and manner as required by law? Do you have the affidavit on file?
Yes, Mayor. Notice has been given and an affidavit is on file.
Have any communications been received on the matter?
No communications have been received.
Mr. City Manager, just staff report.
Yes, Ms. Tracy Duncan, Senior Program Specialist, will give the staff report.
Welcome, Tracy.
Greetings, Mayor, council members, and members of the public. We're here.
Pull the mic down just a little bit.
Okay, sorry. Greetings, Mayor, council members, and members of the public. We're here today to conduct a public hearing for a substantial amendment to the fiscal year 2021-2022 Annual Action Plan for the allocation of Home Investment Partnerships Program, American Rescue Plan, and Home ARP funds. It is recommended that the mayor and council members take the following actions. First, to conduct a public hearing to receive public comments regarding a substantial amendment to the fiscal year 21-22 Annual Action Plan for the allocation of Home Investment Partnerships Program, Home ARP funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. And secondly, to adopt a resolution for a substantial amendment to fiscal year 21-22 Annual Action Plan. As required by HUD, in accordance with the Community Planning and Development CPD Program Notice 21-10, at a minimum, the city is required to conduct a consultation with stakeholders prior to the development of the Home ARP allocation plan to consult with agencies such as LAHSA, public housing authorities, public and private agencies that address the needs of qualifying populations such as D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services Agency, Harbor Interfaith Homeless Services, Catholic Charities of Los Angeles St. Margaret Center, Midnight Mission Homeless Services, Shelter, IPD, and LA County Public Health, just to name a few. Public participation is also required, which is the reason for this public hearing, to receive public comment. A housing assessment to allocate funds must be identified for qualifying demographic populations, such as homeless persons and persons at risk of homelessness as defined by HUD regulations at 24 CFR 91.5, persons fleeing or attempting to flee domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, or human trafficking, and other populations requiring services or housing assistance to prevent homelessness. The consultation resulted with the best use of funds as determined per the chart on page 2 of the staff report. The highest need identified as the production of this affordable housing to provide assistance to the qualifying populations. If the draft is approved by HUD, upon submission, the city will be in receipt of $3,108,579,000 for this project. I'm open for any comments or questions.
First of all, we'll see if there are any public comments for 1 minute. Seeing no one in the audience, we'll try the library lecture hall. Seeing no comments, we'll close public comment. Are there any council comments before we vote on the item?
Nothing.
I
Okay.
do want to
Oh,
make a
you.
quick comment. Thank you
Sure.
so much. This is such an important issue. And I was wondering, I know you kind of listed the populations that are included. Was there any outreach to our student population that's homeless in our Inglewood Unified School District, our charter schools, Did we outreach to those students and their families?
Yes, so IUSD has a homeless service provider or coordinator, and she did participate in the virtual session that we held, as well as the survey she participated in. So we had approximately 25 stakeholders that participated.
Okay. Did you get a lot of good feedback from
Yes.
those? Okay, good, because this
Yes,
is
we
just
did.
such an important issue. We want to make sure that everybody's represented in this conversation,
Yes.
especially with what's happening now in our
Yes.
city. So thank you so much for that.
You're
Great
Move item
report.
2.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar. Items 1 through 6.
So move.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR1.
Staff report recommending that the mayor and council members adopt a resolution amending the fiscal year 2022 through 2023 budget to add the District 4 Community Center project to the 2022 through 2023 capital improvement plan and to transfer funds to complete the renovations to the District Community Center.
Move adoption.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR2.
Staff report recommending that the mayor and council members authorize approval of the special rate adjustment for residential solid waste collection as permitted in the amended and restated integrated solid waste services agreement with Consolidated Disposal Services LLC doing business as Republic Services.
Move 1 and 2.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. SPH1.
Staff report requesting that the mayor and council members set a public hearing to consider an appeal against the Planning Commission's denial of special use permit number 2022-008 to allow an approximate 70,000 square foot addition to the existing approximately 156,000 square foot six-story self-storage facility on an approximately 74,000 square foot M1 zone property at 937 through 959 West Hyde Park Boulevard.
Set the public hearing for April 4th, 2023 at 2 p.m. SPH2.
Staff report requesting that the mayor and council members set a public hearing to consider an ordinance amending Section 2-196.1, Article 5 of Chapter 2 of the Inglewood Municipal Code.
Set the public hearing for April 25th, 2023 at 2 p.m. 01.
Staff report recommending that the mayor and council members introduce the updated stormwater management and discharge control ordinance.
Move 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
No.
Do you want to do the motion
let's do the
first?
motion to
Motion
wait.
to,
Oh.
motion to
let's-
wait for the reading?
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
Move 1 and 3.
Second.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. A1.
Thank you, Mayor. No oral reports from the city attorney's office.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. CM1.
Thank you, Mayor. There are no reports from the city manager's office.
Thank you, sir. CC1.
Yes, Mayor, I have a few remarks, please. First, would like to announce to our residents that the city clerk's office will be participating along with Councilmember Padilla and the Office of Emergency Services fair this coming Saturday, March the 25th, from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. We'll be out there. If you need any questions about voting or registering to vote, we will be out there to assist. Also, I would like to pay homage. We are still in Women History Month, and I wanted to pay homage to our very own Councilwoman, Dion Fogg, for being the first African-American woman to be elected to the Inglewood City Council. Yes. I would like to also, in conjunction with that, say that I am also honored to again be celebrating our Women Rock second annual event that is happening May the 6th. So make sure you go to our Eventbrite. We have it up. We are ready. We are excited to have our ladies here of Inglewood to register. So Eventbrite is up. And if you have any questions, feel free to call either the Councilwoman's office at 310-412-8700 310-412-8605, or my office is 310-412-5280. Also, I am hosting my first podcast segment, and it is called Let's Chat. That will be happening April the 6th. And so I am excited to feature this time around the mayor, Councilwoman Falk, Yakima Decatur from our Housing Protection Department, and Dr. Crystal McGlover from our Office of Emergency Services. So be on the lookout for that as the city clerk's office hold their first podcast of Let's Chat. Also, I would like to congratulate my staff assistant, Christine Padilla, on doing a great job last week and leading the council meeting. And not only that, but today is her birthday, and I would like to wish her a happy birthday. She's such a sweetheart, and just wanted to say happy birthday. And finally, the lady to my right, her birthday is Sunday, and so I wanted to wish my deputy a happy birthday. I love this lady, love her, love her, love her, so enjoy your day. Thank you, Mayor. That concludes my remarks.
My
I'm sorry.
I love that
goodness
picture.
gracious.
I'm finished.
If it wasn't for the fact that I'm the
Aisha.
only man on the podcast, I don't know.
Well, Councilman Morales and Padilla are going to have to be next, so, they have to be ready too.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. CSA 2.
Yes, Mayor. Approve of the minutes of the meetings held on February the 7th, 2023, and February 14th, 2023.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Successor agency members, Dodson.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye, adjourn the successor agency. Housing authorities in session, H2.
Approve of the minutes of the meetings held on February 7th and February 14th, 2023.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Housing authority members, Dodson.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye, adjourn the housing authority of the finance authorities in session, F1.
Approve of the minutes of the meeting held on February 14th, 2023.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Finance authority members, Dodson.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye, adjourn the finance authority, the parking authorities in session, P1.
Approve of the minutes of the meeting held on February 14th, 2023.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Parking authority members, Dodson.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye, adjourn the parking authority, the joint powers authorities in session, JPA 1.
Approve of the minutes of the meetings held on February 7th and February 14th, 2023.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Joint powers authority members, Dodson.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye, adjourn the JPA. There are no appointments to boards and commissions and committees. Public comment, any persons wishing to make comment on a city matter, city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time for 1 minute.
Hello, good afternoon, Honorable Mayor, City Council members, and members of the public. Happy Women's History Month. My name is Jasmine Leon Guerrero, and I'm the District Representative for State Senator Stephen Bradford. I just wanted to share with the public that we have an event coming up on April 1st. It's a tax preparation event called Tacos and Taxes. We'll be giving away free tacos as well as free tax preparation services. In order to avail of these services, you need to have an individual income of $66,000 or less and live within the 35th Senate District, so that does include the city of Inglewood. And in order to get these services, you have to make an appointment with our partner, the Golden State Opportunity, and their number is 626-545-9351, and by calling them, you'll be able to set up a time slot for this appointment. And apart from that, we also have a community resource fair. We'll be giving away free services and free giveaways. So we hope to see you there, and feel free to reach out to me at 310-412-6120 if you have any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I wanted to introduce my partner over here. You guys don't know Anika Simpson, but she is our city departmental health clinician, and she's a nurse practitioner. And I wanted to kind of introduce you guys because she works really hard out here with us, and we appreciate you, Anika, and I just want everybody to meet you and know who you are. And she's the one that comes out here every day and work with the mentally ill. And we have a lot of people here, and she's out here every day tirelessly with the police department and with me to make sure that our city is safe and everything. So, Anika, I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
And one other thing, really quick, I'm going to speak on behalf of myself, not as an employee, but as a resident or a person of Inglewood. I am doing a prom dress giveaway and a suit giveaway on April the 15th to the entire school district of Inglewood. And my foundation is the Glass Slipper Foundation. So I'm looking for suits, I'm looking for dresses and jewelry and shoes. And we'll be giving away the items at Ways Home Care, 8617 Crenshaw Boulevard on April 15th from 1 to 5 p.m. So if you guys have anything, bring them down.
Thank you. Are there any speakers in the library lecture hall? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Go to council comments. Councilman Dodson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no comments. I just wanted to congratulate the two young ladies that gave the reports. They were very precise, and I was very impressed by the little cartoon character. I'm sure that if you didn't pay attention, you're gonna pay attention to that. So that was really cute, and you guys keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Councilwoman Falk.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to thank our city clerk for honoring me. That was such a surprise. That was so sweet. Thank you. I have a few announcements. First, the mayor and my colleagues here, we all attended the Inglewood Unified School District Enrollment Fair on Saturday. And that was a very good event. It was an opportunity for families in Inglewood to get more information on enrolling their students in the City of Inglewood Unified School District. So that was at the district. And there's some pictures of the event. It was a very good event. I want to congratulate Inglewood Unified School District on such a wonderful event. There's our board members. In the middle is Dr. Morris, our new county administrator. And we have the two board members on either side, Brandon Myers and Carlos McGee. And of course, me and the mayor. So next, I also attended the Women of the Year commemorative celebration. It actually wasn't in Inglewood, but it was a wonderful celebration of the Women's History Month. And it was at the Sheraton Grand Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. So I wanted to, again, pay homage to Women's History Month as it is exiting in another week or so. So that was a wonderful event. And we have some of the ladies that was at my table there and some of my sisters from some of the organizations that I'm in. So just a wonderful event for women. Also, I attended the Reading Across America event, and that was put on by Crystal Stairs. They did such an amazing job. There's the Crystal Stairs team right there. And we have look at our babies. They enjoyed it. So they had reading to the young kids there. And I said a few words, and it was such a wonderful event right here at our Inglewood Main Library. So I was just very happy to support their event and hang out with our little babies there. Okay, and then also I want to close. We have lost two great members of the Inglewood family here in the city. First is Jean Brown. She's a former district commissioner. She passed just recently within the last week. And so I'd like to close in her honor, Mayor Jean Brown. And then also we have Lenny Smith. Lenny Smith is very unique. So that is that beautiful young lady right there. And she would have been 103 years old, everyone. She just missed her 103rd birthday. She would have been 103 on April 15th. So want to close in her honor. What a wonderful young lady she was. And so we'll keep her in our prayers. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Councilman Ralph.
Just briefly, Mayor, nothing major, just some of the same. Just thank everybody for coming out. I know I wanted to give a shout out to the Little League who had their opening day. I don't know if they got any pictures up. Just to say that it's amazing how successful it's been ever since we re-implemented it. About 250 families, and we had the opening day on Saturday. But just a thank you to the Tyler Skaggs Foundation. For those of you who don't know, they're the parents of Tyler Skaggs, who passed away. He was a major league pitcher. They have their roots in Santa Monica. They said to say hi to they said Chief and Captain Alex. So they're big on local baseball, and they came out and they really sponsored. I think it was something like 80 scholarships for the kids to play. So that was amazing and made it a successful year right off the bat. So outside of that, Mayor, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, did you say Lenny Smith or Jenny Smith?
For who? Oh,
Oh, Lynn.
Lenny.
Lenny Smith.
Mhm.
So we're enclosing the name of Gene Brown and Lenny Smith. And Councilman Padilla asked that I remind everyone that the Office of Emergency Services is going to present a preparedness fair this Saturday, March 25th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Rogers Park, hands-on CPR demonstration, and tips on being prepared when an emergency occurs. And there's Crystal. She'll be teaching it. Just an amazing employee. And we're adjourned.